someone looks like very thin, but their visceral fat is, kind of high. And we test visceral fat on our InBody machine at Longevity RX. So we're able to see a level that the InBody generates of the fat outlining your organs. So would you be weary of someone who looks thin and is active, but has a higher visceral fat number?
Yes. Most people who don't look overweight, a lot of them still have high visceral fat.
Right.
And
so
their
that's
body
still
fats,
a danger.
And they don't look overweight, but they have body fats. Males with body fats 20%, females with body fats, 33% body fat, and they don't look that heavy, but they have too much fat on their body, and they're not worried about it because they look like everybody else and they feel okay, but it's still a risk. So the doctors are making them think like, okay, your blood pressure's okay, your LDL cholesterol's okay, nothing to worry about. But that's not true.
Right.
If you have high visceral fat, it's something to worry about. Plus the fact that it's oxidized LDL. That's the bad actor. Not total LDL as much. And you can push your total LDL down with a statin drug, but the percent of LDL that's oxidized could still be high. And when you eat a Nutritarian diet, you have so many antioxidants and phytochemicals that it makes the oxidized LDL become very low, which means there's anti-inflammatory. And plus the fact we're eating foods that contain nutrients that activate nitric oxide production in the endothelial wall, which actually has soothing, vasodilating, and protective effect on the blood vessel wall. You're supposed to have active and continuous nitric oxide production, and the most powerful foods to activate continuous nitric oxide production are green vegetables. And let me ask you a question.
Please.
If you took a green smoothie, or I had you chew a salad up, which would activate nitric oxide more? The green smoothie or the salad?
This is so easy because it's just what you talk about all the time, not related to heart health, but I'm going to give it my best shot. When you chew really well, you activate compounds in the saliva and throughout your body that helps something good.
That's right. When you chew it, the saliva mixes with the bacteria in the mouth, and it produces more nitric oxide production when you chew the food up.
Wow.
So yeah, and you produce more endothelial growth factors.
So there are definite benefits to eating a salad crunch, crunch, crunch rather than smoothie. Because smoothie, you think it's easy, it's broken down for
nothing,
you. Right.
But it's not the same thing as eating a big salad if you're really chewing it well.
Yeah. Okay. So chew your food.
That's
people.
like the number one nutrition prescription I give people is to make that daily big salad with the sprouts in it and both the lettuce and the arugula or the kale, and to put a nut-based dressing and to chew it really well. Right.
Okay. So while you're empowering us with all this information, I just want to be clear. So we're talking about cholesterol. There's two types. There's LDL and there's...
Well, there's a total cholesterol and then it's made up of various other small particles, but LDL and HDL and there's VDL, there's other particles too, but the main ones are HDL and LDL.
But people think LDL is the culprit contributing to their heart disease.
LDL is the bad guy and HDL is the good guy.
Okay.
That's correct.
Got it.
And so we want to keep HDL higher and LDL lower.